From the streets of Cincinnati, welcome to the jungle! Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast disobey, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in our Cincinnati, we gon' rise in in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every end day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, dripping heat. Tigers strike the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who day? Time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle. When we flex that, who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move crossing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo bought 'em. Never stop it till the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move on? All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Jackpot Joey Burrow, the losing Cincinnati Reds, and, of course, the AFC North champions, Cincinnati Bengals, which I already said that, but I like to say they won the AFC North. Just got to say that out there. Anyway, do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 1,602 subscribers. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, as I ask you every single day, why? Go to YouTube. Hit the subscription button. Hit the bell for notification. And every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you like to make sure your comment gets read or just want to support what I'm doing, give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, got a very special guest today. I like doing, different kind of interviews every once in a while. And I have a guest today. He's a sports fan and a rocker. I mean, how can it get any better than that? He's Chad Szeliga, which I hope I said his name right. I worked on it. He's giving me the thumbs up in the waiting room. I like that, so I got that right. So anyway, let's get Chad on.
What's going on, my man?
How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. You get points.
Right. I worked on the name to say it right, because that's one thing. You're hosting a YouTube show. You should be able to pronounce people's names right, and I'm trying to get better at that. But anyway, I appreciate you coming on the show. So
absolutely.
So just tell everybody a little bit of your background, the different bands you played for, and what you got going on right now.
Oh boy. I played with a lot of B bands.
Okay.
I played for drums for a band called Breaking Benjamin.
Yep.
Black Label Society, a band called Black Star Riders, which is like AKA Thin Lizzy.
Okay.
Some guys in that band. And now my new band, Lovesick.
Ah, cool. So you guys got a new album coming out or anything soon with Lovesick, or?
Yeah, I mean it's fairly new. Like we've been kind of. I was in a band called Walking with Lions, and I was doing that through the pandemic and on my off time, and then it kind of like is in hiatus. So
right.
One of my good friends, one of my best friends, who used to be in a band called Primer 55.
Okay.
He reached out to me to want me kind of like play drums and kind of produce this country record that he wanted to do. And I started playing some Walking with Lions stuff. And he was like, do you mind if I sing some? Just, food for thought. I said, like, yeah, go ahead. And before you know it, we started a band, and I took the guitar player from Walking with Lions into this one.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. We already got a question already from the Rabbit. He said, Jeff, ask him what his favorite set to play is. Mine is Tama Swing Star. If I said it right, Swinging Star.
I love everything from Tama. That's why I endorse him. But I play Star Classic, which is a maple kit. But I'm a huge fan of their Star Classics. But my first actual like drum set for me to hit was a Tama Rockstar, almost like Dave Grohl's size toms and stuff.
I gotcha. Yeah. Cool. So it looks really sunny where you're at, but I don't think you're in California. Where are you at right now?
It's not sunny at all, but I'm in Pennsylvania. It's just probably the
all the light from the windows
of sunshine.
Right. Yeah, because you were talking about this before the show started. Like, you're like, how warm is it there? I'm like, it's not. It's like 50 degrees. And I'm like, Saturday, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And the Monday before that, like, dude, it snowed here. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what is up with this freaking weather, man?
It was 78, almost 80 Sunday. And it's 34 degrees with a chance of snow.
Oh my God. It does not want to make sure it doesn't.
And my wife owns a landscaping business and plowing business.
Right.
So she went out today to work. Her and her brother-in-law own a business. It's called H&R. And they're out there landscaping. I'm like, it's like somewhat snowing out there right now. Right, exactly. I don't know if planting flowers is the best option right now. Maybe you should get the plow.
Maybe you should read, what is that, the Farmer's Almanac, and see what they say is the best time to plant stuff. Dude, every time I ever plant anything around here, it ends up dying. So I'm no Dr. Green Thumb, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, our house inside looks like a rainforest.
All right, Rabbit said here, he said, Tama is great. Maplewood is just a great sound. Yeah, man, this guest is awesome. Wow, that's great. I'm glad you like the guest. Awesome. So now I'm going to show my ignorance here. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about drum sets, right? So, and different brands. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, drum. I mean, everyone today makes great drum sets. Is what we're talking about. But it's like a football team. There are a lot of great football teams, but you just have that one football team that you just are a diehard for.
Right.
Some days you go for this team, and then all of a sudden you go, you know what? Screw, I don't want to be a fan of that band or that team anymore. I'm going to exclusively breathe, eat, crap that team.
There you go.
Which is your Bengals. Yeah, Browns, on the other hand, we have a lot to work, especially when a quarterback's up for 20 charges. That's
Yeah,
what we're good for. We get a lot of charges.
No convictions yet for you, but yeah, lots of charges. We'll see. Now for everybody out there, he is from you grew up in the Cleveland area, right? Or just outside of that?
I grew up in a place called Elyria, Ohio. And that's about 30 minutes away from Cleveland, which is close to Lorain.
Okay.
But I was always a diehard Browns fan.
Right.
I mean, when I was talking to you before the podcast,
right.
I was like a huge fanatic of the Browns.
Right.
When you had Kevin Mack and Bernie Kosar, Reggie Lang, was it Langhorne?
Yep, Foghorn Langhorne. That's what
Webster
Jim
Slaughter.
Yep. So yeah, you were there with the drive and the fumble and.
Speaking of the drive,
yeah, what do you got?
I like to play Madden.
Yeah,
and be the Browns, and against Elway and the Three Amigos.
Yeah.
But I like to be the Broncos, and 3 minutes I just kneel. So I kind of bring back the Browns should have won this.
Oh, but yes, yes. And now for everybody who's younger, this is back in the 80s when the Browns should have went to the Super Bowl twice. Should have.
Should have. A lot of the teams should have.
Yeah, they literally had the game, and one Elway came in and did the drive and beat them, and then the other one was it wasn't Mack, it was who was the running back that fumbled it? Oh my goodness, I know his name, I cannot remember, but he fumbled the ball in the end zone when they're about to go in.
You're just like bringing up like wounds are opening right now.
Exactly. So all right, so let's get to the Browns of this year. Now, last year all the Browns fans came at me because I was saying, the Bengals are gonna be pretty good. And I was talking crap saying, yeah, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I actually believed that or not. I mean, I believed it enough where I actually drove down to go. You're gonna believe this. I actually drove down here to you gotta go down to Lawrenceburg, Indiana here to make bets because you can't bet in Ohio. And I was going to put $100 on the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl. I'm like, it could happen. Who knows? I went there and the sports bet place was not open. It was closed. They didn't open till like noon. And I work at nights. I'm like, well, I'll be asleep by then. Well, I'll come back down and do it later. I never did. God, I wish I have. I would have made so much freaking money, Chad.
I'll tell you the worst feeling is I was playing with Black Star Riders, and for some weird reason, every time I fly home, the last show, wake up that morning and fly out, my flight is always either canceled or delayed. And I'm not even making this up. So it's delayed.
Right.
And I'm in Germany.
Okay.
And I had to fly to Germany to Chicago. Guess what happened in Chicago when I had to stay overnight? The Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, God. I bet that was a madhouse.
And all I heard was, Cubs. I'm telling you, I was like Michael Douglas falling down in 5 seconds.
That would have been.
That's all I heard was, Cubs.
Oh, yeah, and that was against the Indians.
And we lost.
Uh-huh.
And we were doing great until that stupid rain delay.
Yep. Uh-huh.
It took us out of our zone.
That is the weirdest thing. Like literally, I think the Indians were going to win, and then it had the rain delay, and then like everything switched. And I'm like, I've never seen a game flip. Like you have momentum during the game. Of a great play here or a bad play there. It was a rain delay. And all of a sudden, the Cubs came out and they were playing great, and the Indians couldn't do anything. I'm like, what the heck?
So I've come up with watching. Well, I was a big Chicago Bulls fan when I watched Jordan shoot the 3-pointer and take the Cavs out.
Yep.
So I said, screw the Cavs. I'm Chicago all the way.
I was a Jordan fan.
So I was a Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Armstrong,
Grant, Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright.
Exactly. He had the weirdest shot. I still to this day I have no idea how
it looked like he was smelling his armpit.
Right. I'm like, how is that going in? I'm like, I would try to shoot it like that, and I would like shoot it like sideways. Like, what is that?
So, becoming a Chicago fan, I started to realize like I'm still going to be loyal to the Cleveland and Guardians and the Cleveland Browns to the day I die.
Right.
But watching these teams get so close, it's like your dreams are just getting crushed. So I said, here's the deal. If I drop a drumstick, I get yelled at to the point where it's like I'm almost losing my job. Right. Now, mind you, it's 100 and some degrees, and I'm spinning sticks to be an entertainer, and whoops, one falls out, and I get like deer in headlights at me. So now I think sports players who make millions and millions and millions of dollars to catch a football, hit a baseball, or throw it in a net is if they mess up, they need to work in a factory for a week, no pay.
Get a real
guarantee they will be on their game.
Right, exactly.
Just give them some manual labor.
Right. Trust me, dude. I've been doing it my whole life. I know exactly what you're talking about there. Not the sports part, the manual labor. I've been doing that forever.
You're making $140 million, and all you got to do is open your arms. Now, for granted, I'm not, disrespecting the sports. It is a 300-pound guy coming at you, but
still,
you do it for a living.
Right? Exactly.
I drum for a living, so I should be good at what I do.
You would think so.
We're human. We make errors. I get it, but when you got so much money and parties and all this, and you just like 10, 20, 30, 40. No! Interception.
Oh, well, dude, you're talking to the Bengals fan who just lost the Super Bowl. So, I mean, and that's what's been killing me, dude. I'm like, our whole thing is if we had an offensive line, we would have won the damn thing. I mean, oh my God. I've watched the Bengals lose 3 of these things. I mean, luckily I got to see the Reds win the World Series way back in 1990. I mean, that was 32 years ago now. So
I was at the game where Boomer Esiason literally got dog bones and batteries thrown at their heads.
Oh, really? I remember that game. Yeah.
And they called it.
Yeah.
I forget what was the coach's name?
For the Bengals?
Yeah.
It was Sam Weish.
Thank you. And he gets on the mic and he goes, another person that throws a dog biscuit, we are done with wham. It was
I remember when we had one of our many terrible quarterbacks we had in the 90s. It was Achilles Smith. And I guess he thought the Browns were going to draft him or something like that. Well, he was there on the sideline because one game when we were beating the Browns, this is the old Browns before, well, I think it was. Yeah, it's been like 99, 2000. Yeah. I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. But he's talking trash, yelling at the Browns fans or something, and all of a sudden you see this beer bottle, whiz right past his head. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, dude, you better chill out. Who you're yelling at, especially yelling at the dog pound, man. There's some crazy dudes down there.
There's some. I mean, Philly's got their own court system in there.
Yeah, they literally have a jail or had a jail in.
Yeah, you can go there and get tried and then go to jail then. Right. But I'll tell you, playing overseas a lot with the band Black Star Riders, you want to talk about soccer, which they call football over there?
Yeah, right.
There was someone told me in the camp, I forget what team it was. I want to say it was like Brazil or Italy or something.
Yeah.
And one of the guys kicked the goal in the wrong goals. And after the game, they chopped his head off.
Oh my God. That's some serious stuff right there, man.
There'd be a lot of chopped heads in America, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Talk about it. Don't F up.
But I guarantee you don't mess up.
Right, exactly. I'll get this question here from Crypt Keeper. He said, Chad, did Zach Wilde ever tell you any Ozzy Osbourne funny stories? There's lots of Ozzy stories. I heard.
So it's in his book, I believe, Zach Wilde's book. They got super hammered, obviously, in their hotel. And I believe, if I'm correct, don't quote me on this, but they got so drunk, they started throwing stuff and chucking it into the ocean over their balcony. And I mean, couch, I think they chucked a TV. And the only way they got in trouble was the TV came ashore and it had their room number. It was like $50,000 worth of damage they did.
Holy crap.
To the hotel.
They must have been pretty close to the freaking ocean. They could throw a couch off the balcony into the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, I had a pleasure to meet. I'll tell you a funny story. It is Zach Wilde because I was in the band with them, but we did this thing called Ozzy and Friends.
Okay.
It was going to be Black Label and Black Sabbath together, but Tony, I believe, had lymphoma at that time.
Okay.
So they said, Sharon was like, let's just do Ozzy and Friends. So it was basically like Slash, Geezer Butler, Zach Wilde, Gus G, and everyone playing with Zach, or playing with Ozzy, I'm sorry, and playing like all the great songs. But like Slash would come up and play Paranoid. So we did this overseas for a while. And I just tattooed part of my leg. Did I lose you?
Nope, I'm still here. I'll just zooming in on you.
Okay. I tattooed my leg, half of it.
Okay.
And it had like Michael Myers and Leatherface and stuff like that.
Right.
Anyways, I shaved my legs.
All right.
Up to where my tattoo was.
Right.
So I shaved my other leg just to have conformity.
Right.
Anyways, Ozzy, first day I met him, looks at me and goes, "Oh my God." And I was like, "What? You don't like Leatherface?" He goes, "No, you have one hairy leg and one other one." So I shaved all my entire leg and my other one, and it looked like I had knee pad or like thigh pads. And from that day on, I never saw him. So I had like a half of a Toto from Wizard of Oz in the shower from shaving, just to see him again and go, "Look, I shaved now. Are we good?" I saw him work out one time doing jump rope.
Oh, really? That would have been interesting.
And his calisthenics is jump roping for 5 seconds. And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And he just like throws. And I mean, dude, he couldn't even get one jump. But I'll tell you, he hands down is one of the nicest guys. Same with Zach. I mean, just cream of the crop professional guys and A plus people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we touched on it a little bit with the Browns and where they're at this year. With now they have you still have Baker Mayfield and you have Deshaun Watson. So I guess a lot of people are wondering here, and I'll get your thoughts as you're a Cleveland fan here. Are you happy that they got Deshaun Watson, or would you rather have Baker, or where are you at on that whole situation?
At this point, I would be happy if they even got like Boy or what do you call him, Mr. Hero mascot at this point. You know, it's like every time we get rid of somebody, they excel.
Right. So you think Baker's gonna go somewhere and take off then, huh?
It always happens. I mean, look at Belichick.
Yeah.
I'm sure he isn't crying that he got fired from the Browns.
Right, exactly.
He probably sends them like boxes of chocolate. Thank you for making my dreams come true.
Thank you for letting me out of Cleveland.
I mean, I've always said this. Baltimore is the Browns.
Yeah, well, they are.
And people are like, "What do you mean?" I go, Art Modell took his team and started it with the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think a team that completely started from scratch.
Right.
So that takes, I guess, a decade,
Right.
maybe longer. But, you know, they were playing good last year. I remember when they had the most losses, they had a parade in Cleveland for the most losses.
Right. Well, they also had that was it. They had the Bud Light had the beer caves or cases for everybody at the different bars. When they finally got a win, the beer would unlock and everybody get a free Bud Light or whatever. I remember that.
Yeah. Yep. That. But you know, sports are a addictive thing because anything could happen
Oh yeah.
in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, back in the day when I was really into sports, like Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, Herschel Walker,
Mm-hmm.
but there was this guy. Excuse me. I was playing football, believe it or not, in junior high,
Okay.
and I was a right tackle. I think the coach felt sorry for me because I weighed like $120.
Right.
And he just put me on the line.
Right.
And I went against this guy and he kept on huffing and puffing. And he was from Sandusky, Ohio.
Okay.
I have never been hit so hard that I saw another time zone. And it was Orlando Pace.
Oh my! Are you serious? Oh, no wonder. That's a big boy right there.
Yeah. It's like me saying I got knocked out by Orlando Pace is like saying that drunk guy got punched by Mike Tyson.
Right, exactly. like holy crap! That's one thing you can say. Hey, you know, you were good enough to play against Orlando Pace. You know, you could always put that, you know, a notch in your boot.
Yeah. So I said to myself after that hit, I think I'm going to play snare drum in a marching band.
There you go. You're like waving a white flag. I'm done. I'm going to play drums.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm playing snare drum.
Well, I think it's worked out pretty well for you. You've been a pretty
I think it
successful drummer. So
yeah.
now we said earlier in this, you and me both were Chicago Bulls fans, and biggest reason I was a Bulls fan. I'm not now, but was Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. I think the greatest basketball player ever. Right? You can have your Kobe.
Thank you for saying that, because people
yeah.
like to argue and they're like, no, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. I'm like,
6. He never lost. He got 6. It's over. I don't care what anybody says.
Nobody like Michael Jordan made dunking an art.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Made a shoe that took the world by storm.
It totally revolutionized the shoe industry, the Air Jordans. I mean, everybody, they had shoes there, but this was the Air Jordan. I mean, like the thing is, Chad, these kids these days, they go back and they're bringing back the old shoes from the 80s and 90s that we used to wear.
Yeah, because their shoes look like toaster ovens.
Right.
With like unicorn puke on it.
Exactly.
It's like if you ever robbed a house, I would just know by your shoes.
But that's how cool those shoes were. They're still cool 30 years later. I'm like,
I know.
The funny thing, I always see some of these young boys wearing these shoes. I'm like, yeah, you know, I had the original pair of those, right? They're like, oh, you should have kept them. I'm like, well, if I would have known that then, hell yeah, I would have kept them. They've been worth some money, but we didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they're worth like the first like run of them.
Yeah.
So my brother's like a collector of shoes.
Okay.
I forget what website he goes on, but I think they're like going for $10,000.
Yeah, I literally had the first pair of Jordans. The red and black one. I had those. I mean, I was 85. I was 10, but I still had them. You know, I wish I tell people that all the time. Like, oh, you had one, you keep them. I'm like, it was 85, man. We didn't know it was going to be.
Yeah, you had the Jordans and you had the Reebok pumps.
Yes, I had both those. I had both those shoes. Dude, I like, again, I wish I still had them. Well, the thing, the pumps are coming back. I saw a buddy of mine on Twitter. He had like a brand new pair. I'm like, where in the world did you get those at? And it's some website or whatever.
See it's like the music scene. Everything in life reverts back to the old days.
Right.
Because with technology, it's so advanced that it gets to the point where it's like, what's next? Big
Right.
deal. So you go back and you listen to vintage record players and buy vinyl and cassette tapes and all that, because it's so boring now to control at your fingertip, at your disposal,
Everything.
everything that you want.
Right.
And I remember the days like listening to like Alice in Chains the first time, hearing Wood on the radio and hoping they would play it in an hour
Yes.
after the fact.
Yes.
Now it's like you could play it on repeat if you wanted to. So music today doesn't have like a gift feeling. Football, anything, sports. I mean, like I was watching a thing on YouTube of all things, and it was the history of Madden football video game.
Right.
And it started from like the first PlayStation
Mm-hmm.
to PS5
Right.
to like almost like Tecmo Bowl. It was like hut 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 hut. And then you watch it now, you're like, is this even like a video game?
Yeah, it looks like a freaking movie now, dude. The graphics and everything. I mean, like you said, he had Techno Bowl, you had to get Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson killed everybody. And I was like, back in the 80s and 90s, I was never a big video game guy. I mean, it was video games. I played the sports ones a little, but dude, I was always outside playing sports or doing something like that. These kids now, they're always on their phones, on the computer, hopefully right now watching YouTube. After this, you guys go outside and play. But that's the thing, like you said, with the Jordans, everybody coming back with that. I mean, stonewashed jeans and acid wash jeans, bleached out jeans. Hell, putting holes in your jeans is coming back and stuff. My daughter's got a pair like that. I'm like, I had those back in the 80s. She goes, no, you didn't. I go, no, I literally did. We literally did that. And she got like a jean jacket, stonewashed. I'm like, yes, I wore that. She goes, well, whatever. I'm like, you guys can't think of your own stuff, like, because the 80s and the early 90s were badass. So you guys got to steal all our stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they make fun of it, but it's way better. I mean, I might bust out the skids again.
Skids.
Overalls.
I forgot about skids.
My mom, dude, true story. When I was in junior high, no, elementary, when like IOU and a TiVo and all that was like hip.
Yeah.
My mom was making clothes for me. Right. Not that we were poor, but she just was fascinated with the sewing machine. So she would get all this Joanne fabric. Yep. She made me ones. And she's like, now you can take these to school instead of spending $60 on them. She made me ones called Stops. I'm like, Mom, that's not skids. She's like, oh, it's still a sign. I'm like,
God love her. Dude, all right, you remember I don't know if you guys had this up in Cleveland, what we called the shorts. They were called jams.
I was about, dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. My mom made me a bunch with like Hawaiian punch palm trees. I'm like, I'm not wearing that to school, Mom.
My mom gave me some of those too. I was like, oh, like they had those, and then the Ocean Pacific stuff. That was the other stuff we'd wear that too.
Yeah, and a lot of the emo kids would wear like what we call is slants. It's like pants and shorts, but they're not like all the way down to their ankle, but they're not all the way up to their knee.
Right.
It's like,
exactly.
Pick one or the other. I mean, like you're just pulling up your pant leg halfway.
What kills me now is I'll see these guys. They'll wear shorts now are starting to get back to being shorter shorts. Which I'm not a shorts dude. I want mine
like a gym teacher coach.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I see these young college kids. They're literally like rolling their shorts up. I'm like, dude, we call those nut huggers. Like, why are you wearing
our moose knuckles? Yeah, I mean,
exactly. So mine were always down to my knees, and I just see these guys wearing this, and I'm like, why? And then oh yeah, okay, you got jeans now where they wear them high off their shoes. We would call those high waters. Like the jeans are too short for you, but now that's the style. I'm like, that's just some weird stuff that they do, man. I don't get some of that stuff that they wear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it is right now, music and fashion, but I feel that like with my band Lovesick, we went back in time
Right.
And went back to Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, Alice in Chains, because I'm so sick of like Daddy Beat Me Up music anymore. I did it, and it's like, what can you possibly say for 30, 40 years of your life that you haven't got off your chest?
Right, exactly.
Like, if you're still writing about girlfriend left me and you're not married yet,
right.
Maybe if you write a song about somebody come and save me and be my wife.
Exactly.
It's crazy because it's so easy to write a sad song.
Right.
It's so hard to make you feel like to go to a bar and want to drink. It really is, because we have, where we live in the days right now, war and pandemic and all this crap.
Right.
And I'm a conspiracy, not a flat earther, so not like that. But there's so much crap going on in the world, we could write about it.
Right.
Well, every band does that. So you got to be the band that thinks out of the box and goes, all right, it sucks, but how do we get out of it? Right. Let's write about that.
Yeah.
Not how bad it sucks.
Everybody knows how bad
government and politics and this and that. To me, it's like, you got to just try to be positive in your music now. That's what the world needs to hear.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. There's like, okay, we'll go back to the 90s, gangster rap. That's when that started coming out. And I was a big NWA fan, Snoop Dogg.
Same. Yeah.
I loved all that stuff. And that's, they were speaking facts as to what was going on in their lives. And like you said, right now, everybody can speak facts of what's going on with the world, the war, pandemic, all that stuff. But like you said, if you can speak it into existence, or however you want to put it, how we get out of this, because you got to keep moving forward. You can't keep going, oh man, this sucks. This is terrible. Life sucks, man. You got to keep going forward. You can't just sit in the doldrums. And I think music, it helps people, bring people in better moods, gets them out of the doldrums, gets them motivated. And I with you, I like music like that.
I mean, we have a song called Folded. My lead singer wrote the melody and lyrics. His name's Kobe. And they're very profound, because it's never give up, never give in, get out of the corner, basically pull yourself up off the floor and don't fold.
Right.
And never say it's over. Life sucks. I'm ending it. With the world that we live in today, and social media is a rant of mine, because I don't care what you ate last night.
Right.
I don't care about your politics and religious beliefs. I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to bash people for what they want to believe on their social media.
Right.
But when you see kids getting haunted by other kids, then they kill themselves, it's like, is life that bad for you to end it? Like, they're just stupid people. I use scripture of don't throw pearls to swine. And if those people are saying something about you, you're doing something right.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, or is the person or the kid who's being the bully and picking on them, is their life that bad? Is your life so terrible that you have to put this person down so bad that they want to end it, or you can't stand their politics so much that you have to blow them up and try to turn Twitter against them or whatever? It's like, nobody can ever just have an opinion. Or, everybody has to believe the same thing. It's like, we're allowed to have opinions. We don't have to agree on the same thing. It's okay. Life will move on. Yeah,
I mean, this is a crazy story, because I was supposed to be in the towers of 9/11 with my band.
Oh, wow.
Our record, my first signed band was called Switch, out of Strongsville, Ohio.
Okay.
And we were on tour, and our record was coming out that day, called Subject to Change.
All right.
And we told our family and this and that, we're going to be up in the towers. So if you try to call us, we're not going to answer. We're going to go celebrate
our
debut record. We all overslept.
Oh, thank God.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is anytime there's a negative, there is a positive in that negative.
Right.
So I look at, if we had a crisis like that, there was no black and white, Hispanic, or any of that.
Yep.
There was no God and atheist and this. There was no LGBTQ 77 5 8 10-45. You know, they own half the alphabet. There was nothing like that.
Right.
It wasn't people hating on the gays. It wasn't gays hating on this. It was everybody was on an equal playing field, kind of like this pandemic where it was like, whoa,
Right.
what are we fighting about?
Right.
Like, really, what are we fighting about? There's bigger fish to fry over here. Let's all come together and help each other out. If there was a pandemic happening, COVID going crazy at 9/11, do you think people would be wearing masks and going, hold on, I got to test you before I save you? No.
Right. Yeah. Let's jump in.
They would just jump in and save people because that's our gut instinct.
Right.
That's what we need to look at. Does it take another crisis to bring us back to reality and go, why are we bitching?
Right.
There's so much that life is too short to bitch. Now, hold on. I've bitched a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a perfect angel. But
Right.
outside looking in, it's like when the pandemic happened, there was no entertainment with football, baseball, soccer, any of that.
I was hating
There
life.
was no music.
Nope.
So the world was in void of that entertainment
Right.
of all different categories. So now that we have it, we need to really appreciate it.
Right.
And not take it for granted, because it could be taken away again.
Exactly.
You know, so to me, you know, I just thank God every day. Like, through this pandemic, I found out I had a bad gallbladder. I had appendicitis all at the same time. Didn't know it.
Wow.
Had kidney stones that led into all that. So I got that totally removed last year. And then I just got 4 hernias fixed.
Holy
this
crap. You're falling apart,
I'm
man.
like RoboCop now with a mesh. But I could complain and be like, I haven't worked in like 2.5 years. And you can complain, but then you got to look at, there is a method to God's madness where it's like, maybe I wasn't supposed to tour. Maybe I wouldn't be on this podcast if it was all about me and this and that. And why are these people on tour and I'm not?
Right.
So again, there is a positive in that negative.
Yeah. You always have to, and the thing is, anytime you have any struggles or anything like that, you got to find the positive. You got to find some way to keep, like I keep saying, keep moving forward. You know, I mean, like you said, you haven't worked in 2 years, but you got your new band coming up, and so things are moving in the right direction for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just let the Lord take me where He opens the door, closes the door, reopens the door. A good friend of mine, who is from Cincinnati, Ohio, his name's Jason Waugh.
Okay.
And I met him through Breaking Ben, just doing shows.
Okay.
Now, this kid was handicapped, couldn't walk, was in like a wheelchair. The feeling I got from a person that was so positive, that when I was playing, what's the bad place in Cincinnati?
Well, back then it used to be like Over the Rhine, but it's pretty good now.
Newport? I can't remember.
Newport used to be. It's not. It's better. Newport would have been a not so nice place back then.
I think it was the Newport. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that
but
sounds about right.
He literally had a walker and took it and pushed it over to the side and literally walked to me.
Wow.
And that shows you what the power of music can do.
Right. Exactly.
It can motivate people. And same thing as sports can do for other people.
Exactly.
So everybody has their own, what we call Happy Gilmore happy place.
Yep. One of my favorite movies, by the way. Love Happy Gilmore.
But to me, it's like we just got to be thankful for what we have. And if we're not, then we got to find a way to get what we need.
Exactly. Very well put, man. Very well put.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we've been going here for about 45 minutes. You got anything you want to plug or anything? Like you said, you got your new band coming out. You want to plug anything about the music or the album or anything like that?
Hopefully it's going to be out before the new year, but we're working very diligently on it. And yeah, hopefully we'll have something soon. We've been kind of like under the radar, haven't put out a website or Instagram or any of that. We've been trying to get all our ducks in a row. And
right.
So it's like a patient process.
Right.
You know, you can't,
coming soon.
Huh?
It's coming out soon.
It's coming out soon to a theater near you. Yeah.
There you go. Well, make sure you when it comes out, let me know. And
I will.
You come back on here again and we can promote it then. That'd be great.
I'll have the band guy. I'll have all the guys come up on it.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
I don't think they're sports fans, but we'll all fake it.
That's all right, man. Hey, like I said, it's a sports podcast, but every once in a while we have some rock and roll guys on here talk some.
Yeah, I mean, days you like pizza and days you like steak.
Exactly. There you go. All right, Chad, man, I appreciate you. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought that was really cool. Chad was a really interesting guy to talk to. I've talked to him on the phone a couple of different times here, setting this interview up. So, like I said, I try to do some different stuff on here sometimes, and I hope you guys like it. You know, I got sports stuff on there too. We can talk some rock and roll. We can talk some. I don't really want to talk politics too much because it does get, a little weird. Anyway, I hope you guys like that. Tomorrow night we got the draft show coming up. I'll be coming live at 5:30 my normal time, and we'll be doing it's basically a draft preview show. I'm gonna have Kieran from Full 10 Yards, Dale Altman from Bengals and Brews, Santori from Rally Around Cincinnati. All three of these guys do deep dives and really into the draft. So you guys, I hope you're gonna really enjoy this. Hopefully we can narrow down if the Bengals who they're gonna take at 31. Like I said, I really want them to take Linderbaum, Linderbaum, Kobe Bryant. Kid out of Ohio State, tight end. I know those are not the normal ones, but I think those guys would be good. Those are just my thoughts. Let those guys tomorrow give their thoughts on what they're going to do. Crown, you liked it. Thanks, appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed that interview. That was a little different. I'll check. People can check it out. So anyway, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream, and I appreciate every single one of them. Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Cincinnati Reds, riding third, heading for home. Bearcat Ruckus, Bearcat Country, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar, and then, as always, you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunapole. TikTok is at Iceman90. I will be pulling a sound off later on tonight and putting it on the podcast. Make sure you check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Give me a 5-star review. Like I said, it's really easy, especially if it's on Spotify. It's right in the corner there. Hit 5 stars. Give me a rating and leave a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. YouTubers, you guys have been unbelievable. Seriously. I'm at 1,602 subscribers. That is awesome. I put a lot of short little videos out today. You guys can check them out. That's kind of what I'm trying to do through the live shows, try to put some more short interviews. Like I might cut this one up and put some of the stuff he talked about up on the show tomorrow, or I might find an article I want to read and do a little short video on it. So I hope you guys are enjoying all the content I'm putting out there. And big shout out to Cat Paul, my boy. He's been helping me out a lot with this because, he's the younger kid. He understands how YouTube works a lot better than this old guy does. So shout out to my boy, Cat Paul. Love you. Appreciate you. And other than that, we are about 26 hours away, 27 hours away from the draft. I cannot wait. It's like I said, I'm going down to PBS tomorrow after my show. I get to watch the draft from there. if the Bengals draft Linderbaum, I am doing a victory lap right there in Paul Brown Stadium in the little, not around the whole stadium. I'm too fat and old to run that far, but in the area we'll be watching the draft at. So, and I probably will be doing a draft recap show. I don't know if I'll do it live. I might just record it that night, and I'll try to do some kind of recap show after every round, and we can discuss what the Bengals have done. So please make sure you guys keep your eye on the channel. I got a lot of good stuff coming up. I got a lot of good stuff coming up next week. A lot of cool interviews again, a lot of just interesting stuff. Anyway, other than that, you guys have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow night. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who that, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move crossing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo ball 'em, never stop it till the beast on feastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and